Eagles are going back to the NFC Championship. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, third straight appearance. Shout out to him. Shout out to Zach Baun. Slay did his thing, possibly his best game throughout the entire season. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hope Quinion Mitchell come back because he made a big difference. Although Isaiah Rodgers wasn't bad, but he could have had 2 picks. 1, it got snatched off of him, and 2, it slipped out of his hands, which is very unfortunate. Shout out to Cooper DeJean. He could have had an interception, but that slipped out of his hand. But hey, in their defense, the weather was crazy out there. It was pretty bad. Shout out to Saquon Barkley, though. Saquon Barkley with another 200-plus game, man. For real. And a big shout out. Not just the trailing burst for stepping up to the plate when the Kobe Dean was down, but of course, Jalen Carter. That sack was clutch. Pause. That he got on Matthew Stafford at the very end. That was clutch. Saw the film. You know, a player was wide open. He could have scored, but Jalen Carter was right there to shut that shit down. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to, listen, Hurts. All I'm going to say is, I don't think that was his best game. But you know what? Fuck that. Because to everybody that's criticizing him, why aren't they saying shit about Josh Allen? But let's keep it a buck here. They're not saying shit about Josh Allen, who had about the same performance as Jalen Hurts. They ain't saying shit about Lamar Jackson, who threw a few turnovers. Not even Justin Herbert. They're still glazing him with excuses. I mean, sure, Hurts did fumble that one time, but that was recovered by Kenneth Gainwell, and he took the sack in the safety. Pause. But funny, despite all of that, they still managed to overcome the adversity and never gave up and still win the game regardless. Can y'all say the same thing about those quarterbacks y'all still glazing? I think not. In fact, y'all won't be able to see them play until 8 to 9 months later. Anyway, shout out to the Rams, right, though? Shout out to them for a hard-fought battle. Shout out to Matthew Stafford and them. Shout out to Puka Nacua. He ain't really do shit until that insane catch under the 2-minute warning. That was more than enough to almost get him that win. But shout out to the Rams for a crazy battle, man. But you already know what time it is. First things first, I want to give a big shout out to Gerard Johnson because he was one of the first to do this. Although he's a Dallas fan, you know, fuck them Cowboys, but I respect him. You feel me? I respect his passion. He does talk a lot of shit, but hey, he does keep it 100 though. He calls the bullshit when he sees it. Now all that said, I didn't want to have to do this to y'all, but since the Rams fans wanted to run their mouth and Jared Verse couldn't keep his mouth shut about Philly, well, guess what? You hated us then, you about to hate us even more. All that said, sit your motherfucking asses down. Sit your ass down. Go Birds. We're in the NFC Championship. In Washington, you're next. We're coming for you. Revenge is coming. Go Birds.